So in this video, I want to check out the Sonos Era 100. I want to give you my opinion as you could say an audio enthusiast, as a home theater enthusiast, see how easy it is to set up, and give you my honest opinion about audio quality and whether or not you should get the subwoofer, whether or not you should get at least two of these things and not settle for just one, and kind of give you the scenarios behind where I think one would work, where two you should get two, and where you should definitely get the sub. Never heard another Sonos product before. This is the first one I've ever heard. This is sort of coming from someone who's never really even experienced them ever. And I typically, listen to music with at least two speakers. You could say a traditional audio system, and in this room I have a full Dolby Atmos surround system with 17 speakers and 4 subwoofers. So I'm completely surrounded and enveloped with sound in this room. I characterize this room as being the best audio experience I've ever had, and I stand by that. This is simply an incredible room to listen to music. And so I wanted to set it up in here because I do listen to music a lot in here and kind of give you my... I'm obviously not trying to say that this is going to compete with this room, but I'm going to give you my perspective. And I want to kind of show where I'm coming from. One more quick point I want to make about the Sonos speaker. I don't want this channel to be all about like you have to have 18, 21 speakers in a room to get a good audio experience. Definitely not that. I've reviewed very inexpensive speakers, like a couple of Pokes that I reviewed a long time ago. But I think this is the direction where the industry's going. Am I going to stand against that? Am I going to criticize somebody for wanting to have an easy... I'm actually happy that people are just buying speakers. I don't care if they're wireless. Listen to music, enjoy it, and if this is how you have to do it, that's great. I'm all for it. But that's why I'm reviewing this product. So let's go ahead and set the system up and see, and then I'll give you my full. I'll listen to some music, and then I'll give you my full opinion on the product. So let's do a quick little unboxing of the Sonos Era 100. My wife wanted to get this for our living room just to have a little... It's one of the few rooms that we didn't put like in-ceiling speakers to be connected on a Control 4, and I figured let's just get a Sonos and check it out. So that's what I recommended. So let's see what's in the box. So it looks like we have some documentation, maybe setup instructions. I'm going to try to do it without that. Again, this is the white color, for the more wife acceptance factor color, higher rated, I guess you could say. And there's the unit. It comes wrapped nicely in this cloth. Take this out. This slides out quite nicely. One thing I should note immediately is that the speaker has a quite solid feeling. This is definitely not a big speaker, but it certainly feels substantial. It's got decent weight to it. You can tell that there's some good motors and magnets in there. So let's think. If you look here, it's a pretty simple device. You got a couple of buttons, like a forward play pause button and a, I guess, back button. I think this is a channel used to control the volume. It's like just touch sensitive, and I do not know what this does up here. I'm not sure, but I know this does the volume, and my guess is this is some kind of pairing button right here. And I guess this is a switch that you can turn on and off the microphone if you don't want to do if you don't want to have the microphone on all the time. There's one thing I forgot to mention. This has a USB-C port here, which allows you to plug in attachments if you wanted to. Actually, I think you can buy an attachment to plug in like a turntable or any kind of a traditional audio device to it. You can do that through there, which is a nice little plus. So I'm going to plug it in right now and set it up. All right, so let's set this thing up. I've never set up a Sonos before in my life, so we're going to do it live and see how easy it is. I'm going to use this other phone to set it up, my other older phone. So I just opened the Sonos app, and it says I want to use Bluetooth. I said okay. And you want to connect to networks, you would want to do that. I said allow to connect to networks, and then I guess stream content for your favorite listen in any room or every room, control and customize your system. So check out the terms of use. I guess you got to agree to this before you continue. Hit accept. And I want to set up a new system because I've never done one of these. I'm gonna have to sign in. We'll skip this part and I'll come back once I'm done with my email and all that private stuff that you don't need to see. Put my name in here. So I gotta check my email real quick. So it says your account is set up, so I'm gonna hit continue. And then allow auto discovery, yes, so I'm gonna hit continue. I always do allow while using app, it's just, don't wanna use it all the time. And it said, it automatically detected that I have an Era 100, and I'm gonna hit add. I guess, allow notifications, continue. And access to the microphone, I'll hit okay. So it's getting it ready. Continue. You know, that little chime that it did had a little bit of bass. So I'm gonna connect it to my Wi-Fi and just do the same thing for yours. Thankfully it's, you can't see my password. Okay, so someone asking me where I want to set it up. I am just going to say that it is going to be in a living room. Even though I'm in my theater room right now, and this is where I'm going to test it, but that's where, let's just say that it's there. And it says there's an update available, so I guess I'll update it. And as you can see, it's updating there in the background, and it's telling me things that it, so true play tuning. So apparently this true play thing can adapt your speaker to sound better with your room, with the particular acoustics in your room. So that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll check that out. You can add an alarm to wake you up in the morning through your Sonos. That's just pretty cool. You could group speakers together. Add favorite songs. The slider volume, which is what I showed you earlier in the video. On the top of the slider volume up here. Personalize your listening, automatic updates, and Sonos radio. So I guess let's let the update finish, and then we'll continue. So let's listen to this guy, and then I'll give you my full thoughts on it. There's, I guess, more tips that you can get to here, but I'm gonna just do it the old school way and just play music through my phone and see how it sounds, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this whole system. So as you can see, I set up the speaker there. It's about maybe 10 feet away from my listening position, which is going to be that seat right there. And as you can see, this room is completely treated. This device isn't really meant to be used in a room that's like this. This is kind of like an extreme where I even have panels up on the ceiling. This is as good as it gets as far as acoustic conditions, but gonna try it out here anyway, just to give it its best shot. So let's set up this quick tuning thing, and I'm gonna try quick tuning, and then I'll see how that sounds, and then we'll start maybe the advanced. So I just finished the quick tuning thing. That was really quick, actually. I'm going to listen to it, and then I'll try the advanced tuning option. I did the basic tuning. I'm going to do the advanced tuning now. See, I thought that it did increase. I think it did increase the highs a little bit. It felt a little muddy before I did the tuning, but it sort of became a little more vibrant, you could say. It didn't improve imaging, I would say. I mean, it's a mono speaker. It's just one speaker. So you're not, if you're thinking you're going to get like a stereo image from this thing, you're just not. You need two of them. But given only one speaker, it plays pretty loud. But let me see the advanced tuning and see how it does. We're going to do advanced tuning this time. Continue. So it says remove the case from the phone. So let me just do that real quick. So it said to remove the case. I'd remove the case from the phone. So I hit continue. So it says place your speaker where you're going to leave it in the room, and I'm going to leave it right there. And I'm going to hit continue. Saying you're going to have 45 seconds to move around the room, and then I'm going to hit start. So I'm going to try to take you with me on the camera so you can have sort of experience what I'm doing. So I don't know. Looks like I'm done. I don't know. I have no idea if I did that right, but we'll see. Let's see what it sounds like. I'm going to talk a little bit about setup. It was very easy. Sort of the experience sort of reminded me of how easy it is to set up an Apple product. It's as easy as that, I would say. It's on that level, so that's a good place to start. It was all simple. It's nothing I haven't done before. It worked the first time. That's a plus. Sometimes you get these wireless devices and it takes a couple of times for it to work, but I feel like they've come a long way with wireless devices in the last 5 years. I would say that things are a lot more reliable and things just work. You buy something, especially like a Sonos product, they're ubiquitous in this kind of product where you have wireless whole home audio and they connect easily. And I've heard really good things about Sonos, and it was the one that if we were going to buy like a wireless speaker to have in our house all the time, this is the one that I was going to go with. It can actually interact with Control 4. That's what my integrator said, so this is the one we chose. So as far as audio quality, I've only heard the one, I haven't heard the two, so I'm just going to make some educated guesses to what I think you should do. If you're just going to very casually listen to music, you don't necessarily care about like about any kind of imaging or like any sense of spaciousness, then go with one. It's fine. It plays very loud. I was getting about 75 dB. I set the volume to a level where it felt like the sound still sounded okay, because if you push it a little too much, it can sound a little muddy. It sort of loses its composure, you could say. So I wouldn't call this a critical listening speaker. If you're looking for listening, you just want to listen to your tunes in the background, I think it'll work fine for that. As far as bass is concerned, it actually does play pretty low. I didn't take any measurements or anything, and I'm not going to for this test. I mean, for a speaker of this size, I mean, I'm putting my hand up against it. It's about the size of my hand. It could fit in my hand probably. It does play pretty low. I'm gonna say maybe 50 hertz, something like that. Probably hitting the mid 50 hertz range, I would guess. So it's certainly much better than any other Bluetooth speaker that I've heard. I would prefer the way this sounds over something that sounded too bright, because then you'll get tired of listening at high volumes. I don't feel that this would be a fatiguing speaker. I didn't listen to it for too long for this test, but I did listen to a variety of tracks, and overall it sounded good. So as far as the acoustic training thing, the basic one did, I think it did help a little bit, but it could have been, I don't think it was a dramatic change. Maybe it'll help more if you use more than one speaker. Maybe it sort of helps, combine them a little better. With one, didn't notice a big difference. With the advanced tuning, I would say it was pretty much the same. I don't think it helped that much, to be honest, but your mileage may vary, especially maybe if you have two speakers and maybe even a sub. Again, I already explained with one speaker, if you're background listening, that's what I would use it for. For two, if you want to really get into some more, I would recommend going with two if you want to get into some really critical listening and you absolutely want to get a Sonos system. Definitely try to get two. This thing was just on sale for $200, which for $200 I don't think it's a bad buy. It was certainly loud enough for this room, and this is a 21 by 21 foot room, so it's pretty big, and I think it was plenty loud for this space. Two would be even better. So I didn't test two, so I can't tell you exactly how it would sound, but I would imagine that it would be better. At least you get more of a stereo image. As far as the sub, this does play pretty low. When you push it, the bass loses its composure a little bit. When you're playing it a little loud, maybe that improves a little bit with two speakers, because you're not pushing the one speaker as loud. If I was going to buy this, I would consider just buying the two by themselves and then adding the sub later if you're not feeling you're getting enough bass. Or if you want to hook this up to like a home theater system, to an Apple TV or that kind of thing, then yeah, definitely get the sub, because it's not. I would say this is definitely not enough bass for like a movie experience. But those are my overall thoughts on the Sonos Era 100. It's a really good speaker for the money, very easy to use. And if you're looking for something simple, something that looks nice, that'll look pretty much work in any room because it comes in a white color. It definitely has the wife acceptance factor. Definitely a good option. But anyway, if you have any questions about the speaker, feel free to leave in the comments. It really helps a lot if you can like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.